Hello. Um, I'm here with another reading. This one is a little bit. It was a little bit harder to read. I'm also doing it right after my last one. So bear with me a little bit here. It might be a little bit slower, but I have a pretty good idea here. Wherever you are right now, I'm pretty sure it is a place of, I would say, deep contemplation, right? I would say you're looking at things from a higher perspective. You're looking through different lenses at your situation, your life, your circumstances, right? You're looking at everything and you're trying to get clear. You're trying to find that clarity. And that's the general vibe. Let me get into the specifics here. The situation you're in right now is because you're taking that time, right? You're taking that time to get right with yourself. You're taking that time to rest. Taking that time to rest and really let your mind take you where it needs to, right? The Four of Swords here, right? This card is saying why you're in the situation that you're in. And I don't think your situation is bad. I really don't think it is. It might feel scary. I could see that. I could see how this could feel scary here. But I don't think you're in a bad way. I really don't. And I hope if you feel that you are, this is at least comforting to you, that what I see here is not a bad thing. It's actually a very, very good thing. And I hope that this helps you move through it easier and with more grace, maybe. The next card out, Seven of Wands. You see him bringing that stick to this hole with other sticks in it. This is about bringing what you have to the table in a situation that already has stability, or a situation that already has its set of tools, one could say. But this rest and this rest and this contemplation is bringing you to a place where you can bring what you have to offer to the table. Whoever you are, you have something to offer. Everyone has something to offer. And I would say the fact that you're taking this time to contemplate whatever it is that you are, I would say it shows a level of intelligence and open-mindedness. I will say here, the next two that came out, these are the favorable or positive things that can be developed, right? So this is the Fool here, which is about new beginnings, a new start. And this is the Nine of Swords, which, I mean, is about nightmares. It's about shadow. It's about the things wounding, right? Things that aren't quite healed within you, and still haunt you. So you don't have to be fully healed. You don't have to be fully healed to add something to a situation. You don't have to be perfect to add something to a situation. No one's perfect. you still have things to offer, and a lot of the time, wounding adds to situations. It provides a perspective, right? If you've been through things in your life that have been difficult, that have, certain situations, you can relate to others, and you can give that perspective to others, and you can relate to other people. Wounding and shadow can bring a lot to a situation. Of course, right? It can also take away. But I think what this is about is a new beginning where you're realizing you don't have to be perfect and you don't have to have all the answers, right? Next card out is the High Priestess, which is a card about intuitive knowing, knowing in general, highly intelligent, even spiritually gifted. And that is in the position of what you need to let go of, what needs to be given away, what needs to be cut out. And I think what that's saying is, it's not that you should have discernment, right? You should realize you're not always right, and that sometimes other people's perspectives, you have to be open to other people's perspectives, right? The Hanged Man is what came next, which is the card to wrap up the reading, okay? You need to be open to other people's perspectives, right? You bring a lot to the table. You bring a lot to the table. You have been through a lot. You've seen a lot. You have a lot of wisdom, lived experience. But other people do too. And even that, a non-wounded perspective is also very valuable sometimes. Because it's a different type of lived wisdom, right? It's a different type of lived wisdom. So, and from this, I think you are, you're already in the process of, I don't feel any hesitation here. I don't feel any guardedness here. I think you're already doing this. I think this is just a confirmation that you're on the right track. Yeah, definitely. I feel maybe there's a little bit of lack of confidence, maybe. There's a little bit of a lack of confidence, for sure. Because I'm sure you're probably someone who, given this contemplative energy and this intuitiveness, and you've lived a life where you've had to rely on yourself, and you've had to rely on your own instincts and your own perspectives, and they've done very well for you so far. They've done very well for you so far. But maybe that tricked you into thinking that maybe this is a hyper-independence thing. You can't, you got to this point where you think, I don't need anybody, I'm looking at the Nine of Swords and the Fool, right? And maybe you thought you were fully healed. Maybe you just thought you were further along than you are, right? Maybe someone came into your life that changed your perspective, right? Or a situation happened that caused you pause, right? With the Seven of Wands, you bring in something to an already stable situation, so something that already has tools for itself. Maybe you've always been the person that's brought everything to the table. even if just for yourself, you've always brought everything, you know? Um, if, like an example, you know, a class project, maybe you just did it all, right? Maybe you just sat down and were like, well, I don't have to rely on them. I can just do it all. And, you know, they get the credit too, but fuck it, at least I know it will be done well, right? But this is a situation, this is a time in your life where you're being asked to let in other perspectives. You don't have to accept, right? Discernment, okay? Listen to yourself too. Like, check in with yourself. But other people's perspectives are also valuable. Other people's perspectives are also valuable. You have to keep an open mind. You have to understand that other people have also been through things, and other people understand things that you don't, right? There's always so much to learn in the world, and you can always learn something new, right? You can always find something new. Yeah, so I think I actually went through that faster than the last one. I think because I sat with it for a little bit longer, because it was a slightly more in depth, I would say. But overall, it seems like you're doing great. Maybe this is finding you because you don't know if you're doing the right thing by listening to other people as well, by maybe taking a step back and really thinking about what others have said too. Maybe I probably, right, I would guess with the Nine of Swords out here, with the, you know, wounding shadow, there have been people who have given you very bad advice. There have been people who wanted, or maybe purposely, tried to tell you you were wrong, tried to tell you how to live your life. The Hanged Man is also about individuality, right? Especially this. It's a bat, right? Bats sleep upside down, which there aren't many things in nature that do that. But it is about trusting your process and what you do to get to where you need to be, right? And realizing that that brings something to the table, right? So trust your process, but allow others' perspectives to join into your process, right? Do what you have to do to process things, do what you have to do to integrate things, but be open to other people as well. Even, you know yourself. You know yourself. Yeah, I don't want to give too many, like, examples and just make it confusing, and listen to yourself here, okay? Because what I see here is someone who's very intelligent and is able to, has had to fend for themselves, I think. So, yeah. You got this. You bring something to the table. Yeah. This is very good energy. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you. Yeah. See you in the next one. I hope.